To minute, everybody. I'm back on US of Tubes. So, one of the things that I've been doing a little bit of late, as you probably can tell, is I have been minimizing my technology interrelationship connectivity. So, what does that mean? Haven't been on socials much, and also haven't been interacting with this page, with this channel. Now, I know some people, we don't have a very big, large following here, so I'm not letting too many people down by not posting. And yeah, I think a lot of the stuff I've got to say is run-of-the-mill stuff. But if you find it entertaining or if you find it insightful, then that's amazing. That's great. We're just getting some stuff sorted out in relation to some Zoom interviews stuff. We're just transferring some Zoom interviews with our other practitioners over to Vimeo and YouTube, so they will be coming. I want to thank the amazing Alana Marsh for the first interview that we done face to face, so that's why I could post that straight to YouTube. And Jem Stone was our second practitioner, so we'll be sharing some more interviews with practitioners in the coming months regularly. That's the plan. But so what have I been doing? Trying to reduce my time on social media. Technology is a tool. It's like a hammer. You're going to build something or tear something down. And one of the things I'm seeing, it's a great tool to share really positive, inspiring, uplifting information, stories, affirmations, journeys, triumphs. But it's also a place where people can share their deepest, their darkest thoughts, ideas, opinions. And I can see people get divided. I don't watch a lot of podcasts. There's a few that I really like. There's a few people that I follow on podcasting, and I'll give you two examples. And one is I really enjoy watching Joe Rogan. I don't agree with Joe on a lot of things. He has such a huge, vast array of guests on there, from Neil deGrasse Tyson to Miley Cyrus to, so you've got an astrophysicist to a young pop star to, elite sports people, absolutely inspired by guys like David Goggins. He is an absolute machine. His mindset's amazing. I get inspired by that. So, when I'm exercising, I'll chuck a podcast on. But the other one I want to do a shout out to is Brother Boy Dwayne Bannon Harrison and Secret Men's Business, and Bring Back the Warrior, a podcast. He's an Aboriginal man, with Andrew Hackett, non-Aboriginal fellow. They share stories about resilience, about men's space and about men's issues, which, it's been great that the narratives and the stories that they've been talking about coming to life. So I just want to shout out to those guys. Keep doing the do. They're just two examples of some of the podcasts I listen to that help me unpack the layers of who I am, and also inspire me to be a better version of myself as I transform and as I push through the layers, of life and peel those back. So, I really try and, use social media I don't use it to get my news. One of the bloody hardest things these days is to find a reputable news source that actually tells it as it is. I was watching a podcast the other day, and it's really hard to do because as human beings, we have biases. We have a bias in which way, left or right, whatever it is. You can't deny that as humans, we have a bias towards something. And that will be the narrative, and that will just be the spin that we put on it. And you'll have people that will blindly accept that information, or they'll question it and find other sources of information. So, one of the things that I try and do is to, when I read something, is to go, okay, not judge it immediately on what I see it as, but try and get difference of views and opinions on that thing, whether it be a bombing overseas in Syria, whether it be, government saying something, or whatever you, someone's view or opinion on social media. Someone could say, oh, that tree's blue. Everyone's like, yeah, that tree's blue. And it might be to that person and to those people. Is it to you? It could be green and brown. Who knows? So ask a few other people, what colour is that tree to you? What was that thing? Was it a pair of pants or a pair of shoes? Was it a dress? Anyway, is it gold? Is it, whatever it is? So, go further. Don't just read something and don't buy into it straight away. Process it with your mind before you speak it with your mouth. I think that's one of the biggest things. There's been a few things on Facey where people will share. That's the other thing as well, is that the power of not just media manipulation, but the power of manipulation of images. I've seen some amazing images. It's like, I'll share this image. It looks like a mountain range. It looks like a woman. It must exist. And guess what? It's photoshopped. People keep going, oh, you need to fact check that. But one of the interesting things, I was to do a conversation yesterday. It was like, well, who fact checks the fact checkers? That's a great question. I asked that question to someone the other day. They said, oh, you need to fact check everything. I said, well, who fact checks the fact checkers? So people who check the facts, they're biased. They're going to spin it whichever way they want to spin it. There was an article about a tree that, there was a desert thing there's a big rock formation in the desert, and the thing was, it's an ancient tree. And it's like someone said, no, it's not. Fact check it. I was like, well, yeah, I could have done that, but who knows? It might have been spiritually. Who knows what it was? Archaeologists. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm not a paleontologist. I'm not a geologist. I don't know. I've never been there, so it could or could not be. I don't know. So someone might have put a thing on Facebook. That's not a tree. There's a time in history where ancient cultures from all over the planet believed giants were a part of this landscape. I'm talking huge giants. People say, oh no, they never existed, they're not here anymore, or where's the evidence? There's people that are saying there was heaps of evidence of them, but people have covered it up because it doesn't go with their religious narrative. So again, who fact checks the fact checkers? So look for different sources of information. Look for different angles. Why are people saying that? Why are people doing that? Why are people writing that? Why are people saying that? What's their agenda? Find out. Because what happens is, in such a immediate information, social media, share it around, get outraged and go, oh shit, that's not even true. I didn't even fact check that. I shared that without even fact checking it or asking someone else's views or opinions. So, whether it be, about Donald Trump, or whether it be about Scott Morrison or Dan Andrews, and, we've just become so immediately outraged. And, what that does to your mind, it comes out of your mouth, you instantly react to it. Sit in it before you start keyboard worrying it. And it's really hard, especially here in Melbourne. Well, I'm not in Melbourne, I'm outside of Melbourne, but mob locked up in the city there. They can't, go out on country. They can't, well, they can. Melbourne is country. Wurundjeri and Boonwurrung country. Woiwurrung, Boonwurrung. They can go outside, and that is country. They can go and be in a park or whatever, but they can't travel outside their zone. So, they're locked in their homes, on a curfew there for a couple of hours. So, a lot of people turn to social media, and that's the irony, isn't it? Here I am talking on a social media platform. But, it's about what you feed yourself, what you feed your body with the food, what you feed your mind with what you watch, listen, and what you converse with conversationally, with a narrative, with people, or with a platform like YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or what have you. So, it's about, managing that. I've had a few friends recently, was great. We talk about, are you okay? And one of the biggest things that I didn't do in my life was actually say that I'm not okay. That was my biggest flaw, amongst other things. I had a few vices, was to say that I wasn't doing well. People expected me to be strong, to be well, and I think that there's a big push at the moment for people who appear to be strong, appear to be well, to say, you know what, guys, I'm not okay. And checking in with people. But also, a few people put a couple of things on social media and reached out and said, hey, give us a ring, or give us a video call, and it happened, worked out well, had a laugh about other stuff and helped, reduce anxiety, talked about some techniques and, how, it will be over. And that's, a Buddhist proverb is that it will change. If you're feeling, it will end. If you're feeling sad, that's not forever. Feeling happy, guess what? Being happy won't be forever. Feeling anxious and angry, it will pass. That's it. It will pass, and it will pass, and it just seems like forever for people in the city. And I'm not in that situation, so I can't tell you how I feel. My daughter's locked up in there, When I say locked up, locked down, which is, not imprisoned or incarcerated. They do have freedom and liberty to go and shop and to exercise and, get medical advice, support. It's a hard gig. So, we're speaking to some people from New South Wales and Queensland yesterday, and they've just been moving around, not outside the state, but they've got all freedoms, and they find it hard to go, what? You can't go where? You can't do what? As of midnight tonight, regional Victorians can move around regional Victoria and to camp and things like that. So I'm looking forward to doing that in the coming weeks. We have a diploma coming up, so getting involved in that is going to be amazing. We've got currently 8 people doing the diploma, which is amazing to be able to do it on Zoom. There's still 2 places left. If you want to jump in, it's not too late. Starts Sunday, so if you want to become a part of the Waiapa family community, do so, please. And so I want to interact with the world via technology, but there's, I'm still spent the last 12 months on a massive healing journey, self-reflection, looking inside out, taking off masks. As I say, I've had the opportunity to author. Sarah's helped me put together a chapter in a book, which is what I call Taking Off the Mask, about men dealing with mental health and well-being. So we did the Silver Linings book about COVID, lockdown, and the silver linings in that, and that was an amazing experience. And now we've got the opportunity to put a chapter to another book. So again, it's telling stories, truth-telling, it's being authentic me. Just talking about my struggles and my trials and tribulations, as well as my successes, and being openly honest and being straight out about that. As a 48-year-old man, took a while to get my shit together, but I feel like it's getting together. So it's never too late. The earlier you start, the better. Absolutely. But as that young fella says on Meet the Millers, no regrets. I haven't got the tattoo, but yeah. So I'm going to end this video here. That'll be a Joe Rogan, unless I get someone else on and do 3-4 hour podcast. But I just wanted to say that, kicking along, going well. Big shout out to Sarah Jones and the amazing work that she does in holding the Waiapa space together while I'm doing some healing, and both physically and mentally and spiritually. And I'm in a really great place. I feel amazing. I want to thank all my family and my friends who have supported me through this last 12 months. But a special shout out to our Waiapa practitioners that support Waiapa and support Sarah and I personally. It's an amazing space to hold with amazing people, and Waiapa is an amazing modality. It attracts amazing people, and we've got 2 more diplomas this year, 2020. It's been challenging for a lot of people in a lot of different platforms, in a lot of different ways. We've been very privileged to be able to keep sharing Waiapa with the world via technology, using it to build something, not to tear something down. So, thanks guys. Deadly to talk to you. I can't wait to get Gem's interview up. It's an absolute cracker. She's a great interviewer, and look forward to you soon. So until next time, Wooduk and Woman Indie.